What's up, y'all? We are back. Episode 2 of the Washington Nationals Out of the Park Baseball 24 Rebuild Series, and we are here coming back first year player draft. So, after some consideration, not to drag this out anymore, I really like Dylan Cruz, but he's a corner outfielder. I don't even think he could develop into a center fielder, even if his range jumped to 65. So, and we have some corner outfielders that are, good prospects. We have Hassel, who's a corner dude, and James Wood as well. So, do we need another corner outfielder? I don't know. If all those guys made the majors, hypothetically, we would have nowhere to play all of them. So, that's kind of my thinking on him. And then Walter Jenkins, kind of, I don't know. I've been screwed so many times with these high school guys, so I don't know if I'm confident taking someone number 2. So Paul Skeens is going to be the pick here. To be able to plug an ace in almost immediately, and I think the floor is too high for him to fail. Hopefully our development can even make him uptick a little bit more. But I'm really excited to finally take Paul Skeens. Kind of been like the white buffalo for me in OOTP this year. So, yeah, big slot amount. Once we make a couple trades, I think we'll be fine on money. But I believe he is a little bit over slot. I think it was $8 million for our pick. Let me see if it comes up. Oh, no, that's exactly slot then. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Cruz had the number 1 overall pick. Slot amount, $9 million. Sorry, $8 million. Skeens is at... Oh, he's at 9. Okay, I'm an idiot. I'm just going to drop him. We'll sign him after. All right, so I'm kind of curious who goes next. Dylan Cruz goes to the Tigers. Great pick for them. And then Chase Dolander goes to the Rangers. Rhett Lauder, good pick. Walter Jenkins to the A's. I'd like to see how he plays out. And then Wyatt Langford. Those were kind of the big guys to fall, I guess. I did like Jake Geloff quite a bit, but not enough to take him number 2. So let's go to our pick. Second round, still a ton of 80 overall guys here. Jake's still here. The OOTP the OSA doesn't like him as much. I think he can be a good utility guy at worst, and the floor is already so high. Definitely going to consider him there. I would have considered him at number 2. George Wolkow, Rockies legend for us. I do like some of these high school infielders, but this guy, he's probably going to be a second base, third base guy. Ton of bust potential. I think there might be some better guys on the board. And then this guy's honestly really interesting. Namala. OSA likes him as well as my scout. He's an impossible sign, though, so never mind. I would like to see. I actually forgot to check this. My scout is awful. Okay, so I really shouldn't take anything he has too deep into account. So like Jake Geloff is like Goloff. We'll go with Goloff. I don't know how much to trust my scout on that. We just don't really have any money to sign a new guy. This Caden Sorrell guy is pretty interesting. But I'm going to jump off camera. We'll come back when we have a pick, just so this doesn't take forever. Bryce Eldridge, I think I took him in one save, just because he has the huge hitting potential and a really good pitching upside. As an 18-year-old, has a pretty good floor as well, but he has a $9.5 million demand. So I don't know if we can squeeze that under our budget allotment, but a ton of good players here. I wouldn't be upset with any of these guys. So let me sort through. We'll come back with the pick just a sec. Okay, so after kind of going through and shortlisting a bunch of guys and looking at them, I'll kind of go through my line of thinking, I guess, first. So Bryce Eldridge would have been my pick, but he has a $9.5 million bonus demand. I might be able to open up that much space, but I'm not entirely sure, and I don't want to blow my second round pick. So I'm going to sign someone cheap. I think he's cheap at least. I'll just tell you who I'm going to go with. I think it's Caden Sorrell. Awesome personality. I wish he had the high work ethic, but at least he has high intelligence as a leader. He's obviously a high schooler, which I'm concerned about, but He could be a really good corner outfielder defensively. The offense looks as good as my head scout as the OSA, so I trust that enough. So that's who I'm going with. I'm passing on Jake Joloff, mostly because I'm not certain about my scout. I guess he's probably still the best player. He has high work ethic. I don't know. Maybe I will go with him. I mean, even this player isn't bad, but I don't know if it's worth a first round or second round pick. And I kind of like Sorrell's upside a little bit more. But then again, Joloff can probably play in the majors next season if he's this. I guess there were some other guys I was looking at. I would have loved Namala. He would have been my choice, but he's an impossible sign. So maybe next round if we can. I have a couple trades lined up to open up some rosters or some budget space. So first one is with the Rays. We'll jump Max Kepler. What's left of his contract. He's actually been quite good for us, but I mean, he's just not a long-term piece, and he makes a lot of money. I kind of got on this team accidentally, so we were going to trade him at the deadline anyway. We pick up Alika Williams and Jacob Lopez. I think I'm actually just going to do this one right now. This guy's kind of a nothing prospect, but this opens up about $4 million, so that brings us up to 13. Skeens is $8 million, so that's $5 million we have for bonuses. Then I forgot who the other trade is with. I guess I can just go do it again. So it was Jeimer Candelario. Oops, I'm out of shop attempts. That sucks. Let me see. What team was this? It was the Rockies. That's who it was. I don't know why they want to trade for him. Whatever. They're not giving me much. They're giving me Riley Pint, former first round pick, but 4th overall back in 2016. But yeah, he's not really turned into anything in real life or in this game. Control issues have hindered his development, but yeah, this opens up $2 million, so we're gonna pull the trigger on that actually, and just get that money off the books, so we have a more accurate representation of what's going on. So I'm gonna offer him slot really quick, and then this should give us the accurate number. So yeah, we have $7 million in remaining budget room. I'm totally cool using all of that on the draft here. Just because, I mean, why the heck not? We have nothing. We're not buying at the deadline. So I think I'm going to go with Sorrell here. I think Joloff might be the better pick. But I'm just not certain about his what kind of player he is. And, he's going to be a good defender at, second and third, but he can't really play either of them well, so defense is another reason. He can play some outfield, so he could probably be a right fielder, but I think Sorrell makes a lot more sense. He might turn into a center fielder if that range sticks up. He's still young. The only issue is he is young and there's a lot of bust potential, but low bonus demand, way below slot, so we're going to pull the trigger on that. Let's see who's available next round, and there are a lot of good players still. So $7.5 million to spend. This guy Jake Cunningham I was looking at, I like the floor, and the upside's actually quite good too. He might be able to play center field for us. The other center fielder that I liked was this guy Josenberger. Good defender out there, and not the worst upside at the bat, but I don't know if I want to take him in the 3rd round here. I feel like there's some more upside we can go with. Oh, man, Namala would be so cool, but I kind of did this before where I threw a lot of money at a high school guy and it just didn't work out. So I'm not sure. Cooper Pratt was a guy I really liked as well. It's one of those things. He's a high schooler. I don't know what his real upside is. He might be able to play shortstop if that range ticked up to 65, but I'm not sure about that. So we just took an outfielder, so something to keep in mind. And Wolkow's an option, but I don't know how I feel about taking a third base, first base guy in the first round, or in this round, with the guys that are available. Bad personality kind of scares me. I've been burned by that a few times recently. This guy Cam Johnson I really liked. Not the basketball player, but work ethic, intelligence, loyalty. The issue with him is the changeup, but man, he's got a couple nice pitches. And I think with his work ethic and intelligence, I think he can continue to improve. He's got a nice frame, 6'5", 240. I don't know if I want to go with another starter here, but if I was, it would be him. And you can just see these guys I kind of shortlisted here, just to keep things easy and guys that I would really consider. Yeah, Josenberger is interesting. He's quite interesting. There was like a trio of catchers that I liked a little bit of each. This guy Alberto Rios has got a really nice floor, but I'm not sure if we need a high floor catcher right now. If anything, I'd go for an upside guy like Zion Rose, who has some legit outfield defense working for him. He can play a little bit of catcher too. He's kind of like a Dalton Varsho type, with good speed, good outfield defense, and can play some catcher. This guy Alex Sosa might be the jack of all trades, but he's impossible, so never mind. Cole Stokes, actually. This was a guy I loved. I believe I've taken him in a draft. I don't know if it was... Might have been an offline series. But I have taken him before because I love the leader, work ethic, intelligence combination. He has a couple nice pitches. And depending on who you ask, the changeup's pretty well developed. So I really like Cole Stokes here. But do I like him more than my guy Cam Johnson? I'm not sure. You know, they're pretty similar in their makeup. I think I might go Cam Johnson here. The hitters don't really blow me away. Like, yeah, I like Cooper Pratt, but do I want to roll another dice on another hitter? I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should just let's see. Quick hands, potential hit for high average power, above average power. Yeah, I mean, he's 6'4", 195. I don't know if he can stick it short with that frame. Doesn't have great speed. I don't know. I think I'd rather throw a dart at a pitcher. The changeup concerns me a ton. Maybe I'll wait. Man, but I love his workout, his makeup here. The OSA doesn't like him nearly as much. Maybe I'll wait for next round and see if he's there. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna go with Cooper Pratt. I'm gonna roll the dice on him. We'll see if it works out. Obviously, we'll see if it works out. I mean, huge upside. We'll see. Okay, we're gonna draft him. Small demand, so that's cool. We can save our money for a later pick that we might want to go over slot. So, Cam Johnson is still there. I mean, do I throw a dart at Namala at this point? Like, 4th round? I don't know if anyone's going to take him, though. Like, should I do that? Trade. I can open up the Williams money for sure. And then Dickerson, Edwards, those guys can both be moved. I can't shop anyone else, but yeah, that's a huge roll of the dice. We got a lot of guys under slot, which helps us out. I think the rule of thumb is offering them what the slot for the first overall pick is. I forgot where I saw that, but I believe that's the case. Man, I mean, that's a fun pick, man. He can be a legit shortstop. You know what? I'm gonna roll the dice, see if I can sign. Ah, man, but do I think he'd be there next round though? I think he'd be there next round. Okay, I'm gonna wait. If he's there next round, I'll take him. So it's either I think I'm gonna take Stokes or Johnson. I think I like Johnson a little bit more. Let's take him. All right, and then if Namal is there, we'll take him. He is. Okay, man. I'm cool taking him here because if we don't get him, we get a 5th round pick next year. But if we take him in the 6th round, we don't get anything. And I seriously think I can sign him. We just need to clear up a little bit more money. We can also try to trade for cash. It's another option. So I'm going for it. Let's see if we can do it. 5th round. Okay, so there's still a ton of dudes that I liked. As you can see with all the guys with capital letters. Yeah, so, okay. I'm going to finish up the draft Jake Cunningham was a guy I was looking at in the second round. I think I might take him here. I love the floor. 21 years old, newly 21. He's not quite as good according to the OSA, but he's got some legit range out there. Okay, I'm gonna pause it here, and come back with the draft results, and we'll come back. Okay, so I don't typically do these salary dump trades too much, just because I don't know, it feels a little cheap, and they are getting. Okay, I shouldn't say that. They're getting a good player. Trevor Williams having a really good season. Well, okay, he was having a really good season at one point, and it's since blown up completely. But he's a decent arm, and they're getting Carl Edwards, who's having a good year as a reliever, and then Anthony Bandu is a good dart throw. He's not horrible. Didn't pitch well for me, but could be a guy. And then Corey Abbott, Tommy Romero, a couple other major league fringe guys, and then this guy, whatever. Yeah, we're picking up Breivik Valera and pretty literally a salary dump, and $3 million. So that'll give us up to 15 now. So in much better shape, and we were able to offer Namala here. So I can't really screw this up. I think I might just go for 10. At $14 million. I'm gonna give him $10 million. Let's see what happens. And yeah, I guess we have a lot of holes to fill on this roster. We kind of traded away a lot of guys just now, but yeah, we'll update around the trade deadline or when those guys wind up signing. Just realized I forgot to go over the rest of the draft, so let's do that really quick. Our first draft, so we took Paul Skeens first round. Second overall pick, we took Sorrell second round. Cooper Pratt third round pick, and then Cam Johnson we took in the fourth round. And we took Namala. Hopefully we can sign him in the fifth round. Then we took Tavian Josenberger, who I really liked for his defense and his pretty nice upside with the bat and a high floor. So he'll play an A-ball. He's up there right now. George Wolkow we took in the seventh round. He was just sitting there, and I believe this is what happened in the Colorado Rockies sim as well, where he was just sitting there, and I felt like why would I let this guy slip any farther? Took him in the seventh round. Zion Rose, who is an interesting outfield catcher hybrid. I compared him to Dalton Varsho. We'll see if he works out, but he'll get a shot. He's down in rookie ball. Then we took Jay Cunningham, a guy I was considering as early as the second round, and he falls all the way to the ninth. So scooped him up. He'll play an A to start his career. And then Jace Grady, not the flashiest guy, pretty low upside, but could be a nice backup corner outfielder. And, an insanely high floor where he could play in the majors right now if we needed him to. But he's up in high A, 10th round pick. We took Cole Eaton, really high upside bat. I mean, these guys just kept slipping and slipping. So I'm actually going to go through all of these picks. I typically just go over 10 or so, and then, the other guys were flyers. But these were legit guys. So Dane Lice we took in the 12th round. Pretty good upside, nice personality. And then we took this guy, Bryson Moore, in the 13th round, another pitcher. We didn't take many pitchers, so at this point I started throwing a couple darts. Spencer Green being another one of those. Took this guy, Nigel Belgrave, just a reliever, but nice high floor one, 21 years old. Hopefully he works out and can pitch in our bullpen the next couple of years. Then we took a Ty Goldner, a shortstop prospect, in the 16th round, and a nice floor and good defense. I think he can potentially be a stopgap shortstop utility infield type. We took this guy David Smith in the 17th round. Nice defender, good speed, nice personality. At least the work ethic is. And the bat doesn't look horrible either. He looks like he can get on base just a bit. Then we took this guy Cale Strickland. There were a bunch of other guys that I would have drafted with these last three picks, but I just threw darts at the guys who looked the coolest, at least regards to, the best upside with their bat. Even if their personality sucked, whatever, it's the 18th round, you get what you get. And then we took this guy, Pete Kraska, another high upside high school guy, and then Ty Wade. He doesn't really have a position. He wouldn't play catcher for me, but But yeah, he's got some nice upside at the bat. So we took him in the 20th round, and then I'm gonna go see if there's any free agents that slipped. I believe the high schoolers just go back to the draft, but there should be some. Yeah, like this guy, undrafted free agents. Cool. Like coming on my team. After kind of getting screwed in the Nashville save with not being able to, pick high in the draft and even participate in this first draft, which is typically the best. The next 2 years, I don't believe are any good, really. But we weren't able to participate in those drafts. Eric Kennedy. This guy worked out nice. The Nashville save. But there we go. That's the draft. We'll come back around the deadline, see if there's any moves to make, and update that. All right, so good news. We signed all of our draftees, including Namala. So, potential game changer. He's only 17. There's a ton of bust potential, but, I'm going to throw this dart while I have it, because who knows when we'll have the opportunity to draft a guy like this in the 5th round for just basically money. So, good deal on that. We're 32-63 coming toward the deadline. You see how we stack up salary-wise. There's not a ton to do. I guess Corey Dickerson would be a guy who's having a nice season, who may have some value out there. Not sure about it, but I guess we can go shop him around really quick just to see what's out there. Look for prospects. I don't think there's going to be anyone that offers anything serious, but that's a totally reasonable prospect to give up. Moises Gomez might actually be able to play in the majors. It's interesting. Always looking for guys to fill roster spots, especially right now. This guy Zane Mills is interesting. 23 years old, decent personality, has some tools. Aaron Holiday's interesting. Moises Lugo is probably the best player we can get. The least valuable position, of course, but Alex Jacobs interesting too. A fastball, slider, changeup, sidearmer. For that, I'd rather just throw a dart at Moises Gomez and see if he can play some corner outfield for us. He's a righty, which kind of hurts. I'd prefer a lefty out there, but then again, we're not really trying to win right now. So then again, Zane Mills has the tools to be a maybe serviceable pitcher if these pitches can tick up a bit. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with Zane Mills. Let's pick him up. Let's see if they would throw in Gomez just for the heck of it. Tin Kent's my boy. That sucks. I love him on our team. Moises Gomez. Okay, yeah, so they do both. Yeah, I think it's a fair package for Corey Dickerson. Having a nice season. But a free agent for the year. Not a long-term piece. I wonder if they would throw in some cash, potentially. Don't think so. Wouldn't take much to have him throw in a little bit of cash. Why not? We just tried. I don't want to trade for Mancini. We just signed him to a minor league deal. He's still making the minimum. Kind of valuable for us. I don't want to give up Tim Cate. He's a serviceable minor league pitcher. And he's from UConn, which, my alma mater. I don't want to give him up, but we'll throw in Tim Cate. Why not? $2 million for Corey Dickerson and a couple dart throws. Older prospects, but prospects nonetheless, I suppose. So we did DFA Michael Chavis. We'll put him in AAA. And then Breivik Valera needs to be added to the roster. That's actually not an issue. He kind of fits nice as a utility man. We called up Chad Pinder to kind of play that role down the stretch here. Maybe they both stick on the roster. I'm not really sure, but let's add these guys to our team. I think that's probably the last move we're gonna make. So the next update might just be he can pitch in Double A. Next update might just be the end of the season and kind of the off seasons, the start of that at least. So. Let's see. Any more trades to make? I think, yeah, we're not. Strasburg is on a rehab assignment. Trying to not let him get hurt. Maybe he can actually pitch for us. I don't know. He's not a bad arm. If we're paying him $35 million, he may as well pitch. Patrick Corbin's been a complete disaster. So, I mean, just out of curiosity, yeah, that was the quickest decline ever. What if they were to eat 75%? Yeah, so someone would eat some of this money. I mean, I may as well just have him keep eating innings. Like, he's not. Actually, had a nice start. He's in a nice little stretch here, so maybe he can turn his season around. I doubt it, but at the very least, he's keeping the seat warm and pitching 150 innings for us. So that doesn't have zero value. Yeah, we'll come back end of the season most likely, unless there's a big update or something, or I don't know, something big happens. But yeah, most likely be back in just a sec. Okay, so we are at the conclusion of season 1. We finished 58 and 104. Not surprising, but at the end of the year, we kind of put together a nice run. We had a ton of injuries, which really, stunted any chance we had to be competitive. Jake Irvin came in and threw 10 really solid starts for us. He got hurt. Mackenzie Gore, he wasn't really figuring things out at all, but he's a young guy, but he tore his meniscus, only made 20 starts for us. Hunter Harvey was hurt all year, whatever. CJ Abrams dealt with a couple different injuries, but, the WRC plus doesn't look that impressive, but he almost batted 300. He was a 292 hitter, for whatever that counts. Didn't really play a very good second base, which I'm a little concerned about, but still put up positive WAR after a really tough start. Luis Garcia, not an impressive offensive season, but another guy who had a nice batting average at least. We have a couple different of these guys who the high contact, low eye. I think for Garcia it was just the defense. He was so bad. I tried him at a couple different spots. Really equal playing time at second, third, left, and right, and was just not good at any spot. So that's something to monitor. But the start of the season was Keibert Ruiz. 3 WAR on the year, 290, 805 OPS. Really awesome second season with Washington. Dealt with an injury at the end of the year. I was out for 4 weeks, but still turned together a really good year. Carter Kieboom, 26-year-old, newly 26. In limited time, he was hurt to start the year, got hurt again. But in 224 plate appearances, put up a 128 WRC plus, which small sample size and all, but he wound up being a pretty nice player when he was out there. This guy Jake Alou, never played in the majors yet, but he was having a pretty decent year in AAA. I liked his ratings, and I called him up, and he did really well in 125 plate appearances, a 135 WRC plus, with pretty good walkout strikeout rates. So could be a player for us next year. We'll see where he fits. He doesn't really have a defensive home. Can play some corner outfield, can play some maybe second base. It's mostly where he played with us. Mostly second. He wasn't bad there. Alika Williams, who we picked up mid-July from Tampa Bay in, the Kepler trade, who, didn't really play very well for them, but we picked up Alika Williams, and I had him in AAA for a lot of the season. Called him up to Double A for a lot of the year. Called him up to AAA, and then Durham. I don't think whatever. He wound up on our major league team, and he played really well in 96 plate appearances. Good defender, good leader. Probably my starting shortstop going into next year, if nothing else really formulates. Yadovir Hernandez, he's an old guy. Victor Robles, after coming back from the injury that kept him out for most of the year, was a league average hitter with good defense. So we have a team option, $3 million. We'll see about that when it comes around. Blankenhorn did a fine job filling in, but we had a ton of guys rotating in. Alex Call was a league average hitter who stuck with the team all year, which is not really something we could say about a lot of guys. This is just so ugly. Aaron Alter, we signed him to a minor league free agent deal in April, and he came up and played really well in 96 plate appearances. He's arbitration eligible. Maybe he'll stick with the team, depending on what that number is. But Yeah, Derek Hill wasn't really any good. He stuck with the team, but was a replacement guy. Jeter Downs wound up falling up big time, but he started at shortstop for most of the year and was just really bad. Then Grandal, whatever, he was nothing really. Then in the rotation, we kind of just kept handing the ball to Josiah Josiah Gray. I was thinking Josiah DeGuara, the freaking Packers fullback. Josiah Gray. Just gave way too many home runs. There might still be hope for him. It might be as a reliever, though. He just did not have a good season. Patrick Corbin, whatever. I guess he ate 137 innings and pitched a lot better in the second half and was almost replacement level according to regular WAR, but our WAR, he was awful. But the rest of the rotation is actually quite good. Nabal Christmas wound up making 13 starts for us and was pretty good, above league average. But he has shoulder inflammation now. Unfortunate. Thad Ward pitched really well out of the bullpen, made him a starter for the last 2 months or so, and he pitched well. So maybe a piece moving forward. The stamina's not great, but he's an arm. Chad Kuhl just came up. And Steven Strasburg wound up coming back and got hurt on a couple different occasions, but nothing really too serious. So he had a dead arm. I put him on the IL. Stiff back was like a 2-day injury, and then he had another dead arm. So I worked him in really slow. As you can see, only threw 25 innings and 7 starts. I limited him to 60 pitches, but yeah, he wound up staying healthy toward the end of the year. So, I'm not going to bank on him being a good pitcher moving forward, but he is slotted into our rotation for next season. I guess we can go over some top prospects and how they did this year. Robert Hassel was doing pretty well in Double-A, and I thought his ratings were far enough to push him to Triple-A. Got off to a really bad start there. He was at like a 75 WRC plus, and I was thinking about sending him down, but I didn't want to stunt his development by doing that, so I kept him there, and he finished really strong in Triple-A, about a league average hitter at the end of the season, in just under 300 plate appearances, so decent year for him. James Wood has lost a little bit of his luster, but we'll see. I also hired a new scout, but so that could play a factor. But he started the year in High A, hit well enough that I called him up to Double-A, and was about a league average hitter there. Good walk rate, striking out a little bit too much, but overall decent numbers for him. And then Armando Cruz, which is killing A, called him up around the All-Star break and was about a league average hitter in High A. So he held his own as a 19-year-old at that level. He'll start there next year again, but it could be a quick ascender to Double-A. Jarlin Susana started the year in A, pitched really, really well through about half the season. Called him up to High A, and wasn't quite as good, but honestly, he dipped the walk rate a bit, and maybe his underlying peripherals actually looked better, or just as good, I guess. Who knows the reason for that? It looks like his BABIP was about the same, but yeah, he had a nice season, definitely on the rise. And then Pablo Adalis, looks like he pitched really well in High A, called him up to Double-A. Didn't do too much, but was a league average pitcher at that level. Elijah Green's an interesting one. So he's a 19-year-old former first round pick, sorry. Really early first-round pick by Washington. He pretty much did what you'd expect. He struck out almost 40% of the time, which is not sustainable, but hit 10 bombs in rookie ball, low batting average, but I think he'll probably stay there for another year. I don't really feel confident in calling him up to A-ball after that. But the tools are definitely there, especially the home run power, and he just got to fix the strikeouts. Jackson Rutledge had a decent year in Triple-A. He actually finished pretty strong, looks like, because he had some rough numbers. Did they? Oh my God, they overrode my 85 pitch limit, but whatever. He finished strong. Could play a factor on our team, maybe as a reliever. I don't think I'd start him. Andrew Lara, a guy a lot of people wanted in trade packages at the deadline. Pitched in High A the whole year and was a little bit above league average. He's only 20. I'm not going to push him along too quickly. Aldo Ramirez really struggled in Double A this season. I think I sent him back down to High A. But he's a low ceiling, high floor guy. Nothing too impressive there. And then, that's pretty much all I really want to talk about. Jacob Lopez wound up making the majors. He pitched super well in AAA and AA for us. He was a guy we got in that same trade as Williams in the Kepler trade. Probably just a reliever long term. But, yeah. Paul Skeens, I got him up to AAA to end the year. He pitched pretty well in AA that I felt good enough calling him up. And, yeah, he looks like a total stud. So, made 4 starts in AAA and was fine, but small sample size. I still feel pretty good about him moving forward. Also, his batting's moved along a little bit. I'm not saying he's ever going to be a hitter, but I am using him as a two-way guy at the moment. Some other guys, 10th round pick Jace Grady, hit really well in High A, called him up to Double A to end the season, and played well there too. So, low upside, but could be a corner outfielder for us as early as next season. And then Josenberger hit really well in A, called him up to High A to end the year. Small sample size, didn't do much there though. Jake Cunningham didn't really hit too well. I sent him straight to A ball. Maybe I should have kept him in rookie ball, but he's already there at this point. I called up Cooper Pratt. He was crushing rookie ball, 126 WRC plus, and kind of holding his own as a 19-year-old. So I called him up to A. Didn't do too much there. Really small sample size of 22 plate appearances. The rest of my picks were still in rookie ball. Namala, did he gain a little bit of? Yeah, he did. He actually gained some contact with my new scout, so that's sweet. Wasn't horrible as a 17-year-old playing with guys that could be up to 20 years old. So, really excited for him. Wolkout, about league average hitter at 17 years old. We'll take that. And then Caden Sorrell, our second-round pick. Looks like he lost a little bit of potential, but was fine as an 18-year-old. But yeah, I guess we'll stop there, sim the rest of the playoffs, and we'll pick up in the postseason in just a sec. Actually, before we move forward, the Arizona Fall League is going to start up in a couple days, in about a week. And we have a couple guys participating. I didn't choose this. I don't know how these guys wound up getting picked, but Jackson Rutledge will be one of the pitchers on the team, along with Norge Vera, who I didn't mention last update, but he looked like he developed pretty nicely. He's still got to figure out the control, but the stuff, I think, went up. And he could probably pitch out of the bullpen right now for me. I think, we're rock. He wasn't great for us, walked way too many guys, but I might try him as a reliever, see how he does, and then maybe later in his career move him to a starter. Those two are our hitters, and then James Wood will be, the pitchers, and then James Wood will be our hitting representative on the team. Talked about him already, and how he did this season, and he's probably the best player on this team. Mike Antico, another guy. I'm not sure how they pick these players, but a decent selection of guys who could be in the Arizona Fall League, hypothetically. So we'll stop here. Update in the offseason. All right, so we're here into the offseason. November 16th. We'll go through some other stuff really quick, but I got offered this trade by New York. This guy Sebastian Keane, who's an interesting enough arm, 23 years old. Side armor. Didn't pitch too well in High A, but there's some upside here. And Victor Arano, I was non-tendering him after the season anyway. And this guy's kind of a nothing prospect. I'm a little nervous that he might be good, but he's 22. Didn't hit very well at any level last year. So, we're going to do that trade. And then we'll go through kind of what's happened so far this offseason. So, our scout retired, which was interesting. I don't know what level I want to put him at. Maybe I'll put him back at High A. He's 23. We'll put him Double A. Our scout retired, so we signed him like halfway through the year, a little bit after the draft, because I didn't realize how bad my scout was. So he retired, so we had to sign a new one, Dave Watkins, who's actually way better than our old scout. RJ Harrison. So, and he's young, 42, so he should be around for a couple of years. Also, I think our hitting coach left, so I signed a new one, Tom Schmidt, total stud. And then I went through my minor leagues and have I'm trying to get some better staff for the guys that really stink. So I went through and weeded out the bad guys. I didn't want to fire everyone the first year because, then I don't know. It just felt a little cheesy to step in and fire everyone immediately. But yeah, we'll offer to those two guys that I liked, and then we're gonna non-tender actually most of these guys that are eligible for arbitration. We'll bring back Tanner Rainey, who didn't pitch. He was hurt all year. He looks like a fine enough arm. $1.7 million. I actually need to offer these guys contracts. I kind of forgot about that aspect of it. So we'll offer him. Luis Garcia will be back. He had a decent season overall. If he gets the defense together this year, I think he can actually be a good player, potentially. And then Carter Keyboom, who we talked about, he was good in a small sample size. So we'll definitely bring him back for 1.5. We wound up declining Victor Robles' team option. I don't know. I just don't really see it with him at this point. He's a good defender, but we can find a good defender for less than $3 million. So that's kind of where we are heading to this offseason, or I guess into free agency. We can go over some awards as they come out here. I'm going to clear my messages as well because, oh my God, we're going to have so many scouting reports coming in because I had to rescout the entire team. So, all right, we'll start off with Gold Gloves. So in the AL, pretty standard names. I don't think there's anyone too surprising. I guess Ramon Urias at third. Then in the NL, Matt McLean gets it at second. Good for him. Fernando Tatis and right. Good for him as well. Cody Bellinger had a really nice season for Chicago. He'll probably be in for a nice payday. Yeah, those are the Gold Gloves. No one for us. Reliever of the year, Emmanuel Clase in the AL. Tied with Pete Fairbanks, but I guess they gave it to... I've never seen a total tie, ever. First place votes and total votes. So I guess they gave it to Clase, but yeah, Fairbanks actually wound up tying him. But yeah, what an insane season. Holy crap. He's had one of the best careers ever. Pete Fairbanks, not too shabby himself. An NL reliever, no one of ours, obviously. Where bullpen is pretty abysmal outside of Sean Doolittle, who was actually pretty good. I kind of glossed over him originally, but yeah, Silver Sluggers, Anthony Santander in right field is pretty surprising. No one else too crazy. In the NL, Ellie De La Cruz is a rookie. O'Neal Cruz winning at shortstop. Good for him. Alec Thomas in center field. Holy crap. And then, my God, Elahiros Montero didn't have that great of a year, but I guess the DH must have been pretty weak this season. But yeah, I remember him in my Rockies team. He actually turns into a pretty good hitter, seems like. So, you have Rookie of the Year, Gunnar Henderson. Josh Young also gets a couple of first place votes. And then Volpe finishes third. In the NL, Corbin Carroll gets 23 of 30. And then Jordan Walker and Hayden Wesneski, former Yankees prospect. Wow, what a season. Holy crap. Man, I bet the Cubs wish they got that in real life because he was not nearly that good. Holy crap, Jordan Walker. What a season from him, man. He's not even fully developed. That's crazy. He's going to be scary. And then Ellie De La Cruz finishes second, but doesn't get any first-place votes. A really nice season from him. And Corbin Carroll had a heck of a season and does deserve to win that Rookie of the Year award. Manager, definitely not us. Brian Snitker and Rocco Baldelli. And then Cy Young, Jacob deGrom, who had a crazy season. 266 innings. I didn't even see that. One of the greatest pitching seasons of all time, but tore his flexor tendon. So we'll see how he comes back. Garrett Cole finishes second. And then Hayden Wesneski winds up winning Cy Young. Doesn't win Rookie of the Year, though. Pretty fascinating. Alex Wood finishes second. That's crazy. Blake Snell finishes third, and a couple guys down the ballot. Okay, so we'll go to MVP, and then we can hop into free agency here. So Vlad Guerrero in the AL, Shohei Ohtani gets 9 first place votes. Tim Anderson, Jacob deGrom gets a couple as well. Corbin Carroll wins in the NL. So the Rookie of the Year is also the MVP, and the Cy Young is another Rookie of the Year candidate. Mookie Betts a nice, really good season. Tatis had a good year as well. And I'm guessing we have no one even close. Okay, so let's move forward. Free agency will be in a few days. Make sure everything is kind of dealt with here. These guys should sign on. Perfect. And yeah, I pretty much took everyone off the roster that we needed to. The guys that we didn't really plan on keeping around next season, so they're all taken care of. I guess I'll throw them in AAA. Give them an invite to spring training at least. So, I should also go over prospects. So Paul Skeens slots in at number 5 in the league for prospects. I think Dolander was 3rd, and that number 1 overall pick guy, who I don't remember, he was the number 1 prospect. Looks about the same as when he got drafted with the really low movement and control, but I don't know. I think Skeens is a way better prospect, but I guess he's 5th. And then Namala slots in at number 11. Our 5th round pick that we spent way over. We gave him basically first overall pick money to join our team, and so far that looks like it's paying dividends with the 11th prospect in baseball. So salary arbitration taken care of. Robert Hassel, number 72, by the way. I guess we can go through the rest of our top guys and see who's in the top 200. James Wood, number 77. Looks like he's ticked up a bit with the new scout. Good to see. Hassel, he's chugging along. He looks like he'll probably be ready for the majors early next season. Armando Cruz, just outside the top 100. Jorge Vera, who just pitched. Did he pitch in the Arizona Fall League? I thought he did, but not seeing any stats. He's 104. Susanna, 124. And then George Wolkow, our 7th round pick, number 170. Caden Sorrell, our number 2, our 2nd overall pick, 2nd round. Number 40 overall. He's outside the top 200, but probably pretty close. Elijah Green also in that range. Cam Johnson in that range as well. Who had a rough season, but still have hope for him. And some other guys. Spencer Green was a draft pick, I believe, 14th round. He cracks our top 20 or whatever this list might be. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of the prospect overview at this point. So, go to free agency. Obviously, we're not going to be huge players for anyone. I want to take most of this money and dump it into development. So, there's 24 to spend. So, I'm going to put $30 million. That will probably change, and maybe we'll get a boost at some point. We could also save a little bit of money by potentially looking to eat some of this deal. I'm not sure if there's any interest in this at all. 75%? Yeah, Kyle Freeland. No chance. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so we finally get someone to bite. But still, this is... Okay, so we're going to have to find someone... Maybe this is more of a late in the free agency thing. Because people have probably just offered a bunch of contracts and stuff. All right, let's jump in. May as well throw this guy a minor league deal. He's 23. All right, so what are our big needs? So let's kind of go through position by position. So Keeper Ruiz will be our catcher, though I'm not convinced about his ability long term. But he'll be there to start the season. We don't have a first baseman. Abrams will be at second, although I also have concern about his durability. He might be better off playing some outfield this year. We'll see how the team kind of shapes up, but we'll slot him at second for now. Luis Garcia is probably going to be at third, although another guy who can play some corner outfield. He might actually be better suited for out there. Carter Kieboom, I don't know where he's going to play yet. We have no outfielders, so Alex Call was a good player for us last year. I mostly had him platooning. He played a lot against lefties and hit well, so we could slot him into right field for now. looking in the minor leagues, Hassel's probably going to be a left fielder, maybe a right fielder. Probably not a center fielder. I guess he could pull it off if we needed him to, but we got this Moises Gomez at the trade deadline. He went out with a torn PCL. Terrell Tatum is an interesting guy. Got him in that trade with the White Sox. We also got Vera. This was for Joey Meneses, who wound up putting up a heck of a season, even when he went to Chicago. Maybe not quite as good as with us, but yeah, good acquisition by them. They'll have him for a couple more years, and Wilfred Veras has some crazy trade value at the moment. I lost what I was actually talking about, but I'm gonna just shop him around really quick because I got a crazy trade offer from Texas for him. I didn't have this guy scouted at the time, so I didn't accept it, but it was, let's see, it was for Justin. Okay, I'm glad I didn't do it because he looked more like this guy when I was looking, and this isn't quite as good of a player, but yeah, they were offering this guy Justin Foscu for Veras. Yeah, they probably wouldn't do that now, but yeah, I wasn't sure how good he was. Okay, so yeah, we need pretty much all offense. And then pitching, I think we should be able to piece together a rotation this year. So we'll have a 5-man. Opening day, we'll probably start Strasburg, just out of sentimental value. And then Kay Cavalli will be back at some point. I'm not sure if he'll be back for opening day, but he'll definitely play an impact on the team. Cole Henry, I'll give another shot in the rotation. He wasn't great when he was out there, but he's definitely worth giving another shot to. Mackenzie Gore, I'm not sure what his future is. He really wasn't any good, but he's a rotation option. Thad Ward's another guy I like, but might be better off as a bullpen piece. Man, he really lost a lot of ratings here. I guess he really wasn't that good to start with. Jake Irvin actually pitched pretty well as well. Yeah, we should have a lot of bodies here. Josiah Gray will be here, I guess. But he's got to figure it out with the home runs and the walks as well. And Nabil Christmas pitched well, but he has shoulder inflammation. See how he comes back. So I think pitching, we're fine. We could fill out a rotation. Not a ton of money to work with if we're going to put so much in development. So we might have to go with minor league deals. Cheap one-year deals to kind of fill out the rest of this team. So yeah, that's kind of the roster breakdown. I don't know if there's going to be a ton in free agency to even talk about. We'll offer this guy a deal. Yeah, we'll just try to fill out the roster and get some league average players in there and see how we do this year. It might be another tanking season, though, by how it looks. Yeah, so we'll come back at some point and update about what we've done. All right, so we're here at the Rule 5 drafts. I only added one guy that was necessary. It was Yasel Antuña, who, if you remember from the Nashville save and you watched that, turned out to be a really good player. He's not a bad prospect in this. And we need some bodies on our 40-man roster, so I figured why the heck not add him. And just to go over my rules again, I don't take anyone under 25. That means I can take 25-year-olds, by the way. And then I'm not going to take like an absurd amount of players in this either. So we have the first pick. Looks like we had the worst record in the league, so we can kind of have our pick of the litter. I like Cole Sands quite a bit. Buddy Kennedy, Matt Gorski's interesting. Has some good defense. He's 25, almost 26, so he fits the mold. And man, he had a heck of a season in AAA last year. I think I'm going to take Matt Gorski. I don't think there's... he's not like a top prospect. He's 25. He's almost 26. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, maybe I'll probably throw some darts at some guys in this. I'm not going to take an absurd amount, like I said, but yeah, Matt Gorski, first overall pick. Let's go for it. All right, so second pick. I think we have plenty of starters. We might try to go for a cheap backup catcher. Marco Feliciano, not really a good catcher. I think we actually have some guys that can come in and catch. So maybe I'll pass on that. Darius Hill is interesting. Had a good season in AAA. I mean, nothing spectacular, but can play some corner outfield. After taking Gorski, we're gonna have Garcia in left to start the year. We kind of need like a first baseman type. Alou's not a first baseman. He's only 5'10". I guess Garcia could play there hypothetically, but if we find a good masher, we might go after that. Could use a platoon partner for Call too. So maybe that guy does make a lot of sense. Seth Beard, former top, was he a top draft pick? Yeah, first rounder back in 2018, part of the Zach Greinke trade. Crushed in AAA last season. So Jacob Gonzalez. Yeah, like Darius Hill, Trevor Larnach. I can't. Been disappointed by him so many times. Nathan Lukes, I think he actually played in the majors in real life this year. Cam Meisner. Pretty interesting. A lefty, so we can platoon with Call, and he is better against righties. I think Meisner makes a lot of sense. A guy they've been looking to trade for a couple of years, was stuck in AAA last year, is trapped in the minors at this point. So we'll throw another dart at Meisner. And we lost Yadiel Hernandez, the 36-year-old, to the Royals. Wow, that's a heck of a pick. Okay. We'll see if we want to take anyone here in the third round. Maybe just an innings eater. A guy we can put in the bullpen and do some work for us. Cole Sands I still like. Dylan Covey is actually interesting, but he's 32. I don't know if there's a ton of upside. Noah Denoyer only pitched up to Double-A last season. Has some nice pitches, has some upside. He's almost 26, so makes sense to take him. Joe Lasorda is pretty good, but he doesn't really have the stamina. Love me some Ricardo Sanchez, one of the OG Nashville Stampede boys. Man, I forgot about him. That's until I just saw his name. That'd be fun to bring him in, but I think I'm going to take Noah Denoyer. Young guy, can stick in the bullpen all year. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to go too crazy with this. So there you go. There's the Rule 5 draft. We are not really going to make any moves in free agency. I had some minor league offers out to guys, but they were like $1.5 million guarantees, and I kind of rescinded them because we don't have a ton of money to work with, and when international amateur free agency comes, I want to have some room to be able to sign some guys. So we're going to wait until like the preseason to do all that, and when guys don't have any demands. So we'll play with whatever's out there at that point. I'm not going to go too crazy trying to win this year or anything. We were aggressive in the Nashville save, but I feel like we had more pieces than we do with this team. This is like a complete disaster with no money. And, you know, Corbin's still in the books for another year, and Strasburg is for 2 more after this one. After this year, I think we're going to have some flexibility, and we should be able to make some moves at that point. And, you know, it'll align with our prospects coming up at that point as well. So, yeah, we'll cut out here, come back, and update a little bit later in the offseason. All right, so we signed one big fish in international free agency. This dude just looked like a generational type hitter. Augustus Schwartz, low intelligence, low leader. I mean, I'm not totally stoked about it, but man, if he develops into this kind of hitter, I don't really care. Hall of Fame, I didn't vote. I forgot to do that. But I also screwed up big time. I didn't realize it was going to be a problem. You know how it says, whatever, start a charity, whatever, the guys want to put together a charity. I did start a charity, and I didn't realize it was going to, like, to completely destroy my money. So it took, like, $10 million, $15 million off my money. And that was right before international free agency, so I had to drop my development budget. And, yeah, that kind of screwed me, but at least we got a charity started or something. You know, it's a fictional game, so I don't really care that much. Um, but I guess if this was real life, it's worth taking a little bit out of development to start a charity. So, whatever. Preseason's about to begin. And nice little trade offer here. Jonathan India. Looks like they're interested in dealing him. I'm not going to go Passel, but I would look at a trade for sure. I don't really know what I have to offer, though. This is my AA roster. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything to offer. Sorry. All right. Nothing really interesting there. Check the waiver wire just in case. I mean, yeah, I'm going to do the same rules for the waiver wire as the Real 5 draft. Like, why are they waiving this guy? I'm not going to take anyone that's under 25. Because a lot of times you'll find these, like, top prospects that are that shouldn't be waived, and they are. And if the AI wants to go claim them, I'll allow it. I think it's BS that this happens in this game, but because this was never an issue in old games. I don't know why all of a sudden the last few versions of this, all of a sudden they're waiving in DFA and these top prospects, or maybe it was like this all along. But I wonder what the computer logic on that is. Whatever. Art Warren's interesting. Does he even have a major league contract? No, he doesn't. I mean, if he's on a minor league deal, I'll claim Art Warren. He's 30. Yeah, that feels okay. All right, we'll go into the preseason here. Hopefully we get... Okay, good. We got a little budget increase. $20 million. Thank goodness, because we were screwed there for a minute. Okay, now we can bump up our development again. That was not enough zeros. There we go. We can jump up our scouting. Because both of this is all going to be pretty important this season. I'm not sure if the draft is going to be as good as last year, so maybe we'll go a little bit easier. But, man, season tickets, looks like they increased 34%. Attendance is way up. Revenue looks like it's going to be way up. I guess that's all assuming we play well, but, yeah, this stuff was, like, in the crapper last season, so. Okay, this is where we can start offering some minor league deals. So a guy like Tony Kemp is perfect. Like, doesn't want to demand, can play a couple different positions, can fill out our roster. Max Muncy would be interesting as well. Maybe we'll go a little bit cheaper, though. Hanser Alberto's. We have a couple of the same, you know, low on-base percentage, high contact guys. I don't know if we need another one. Just want to see how he finished out the year. Ivan Castillo, I've had him in a couple different saves. I don't really want to sign him again. Randall Gerchip could be a nice guy to bring in, a right-handed guy who can hit some lefties. But I definitely want to bring in Hedges. He was one of the guys I offered earlier. Good leader, good defensive catcher. Reese Hoskins is out here. I mean, this fits. This makes a lot of sense. Yeah, minor league deal. Sure. I think Kiermaier makes some sense too, but I don't want to pay him that much. Herman Marquez can eat some innings for us. Sure, he's only 28. Feels like he should be like 33, but he is not. Rowdy Reed can be an interesting minor league guy. Yeah, it's probably a little boring, but Jose Siri was another one of those guys that I offered. Give him a cheaper minor league deal. Okay, so we'll stop here for now. Come back maybe around when spring training starts, and if there's any updates, we'll jump in, but I doubt there will be. All right, so just a quick look at the guys who are invited to spring training. I'm starting these guys because I want to see them get at bats. I want Keeper Ruiz to get some time at first base because that could be his permanent home. I'm not sure yet. He has this big contract, and it's not unreasonable, even if he was a first baseman, and he definitely has the ability to play first with this bat. I'm not going to be upset if he's my first baseman. So we'll see what happens with that this spring, but he's going to get some time over there, probably split time there this season. Might carry 3 catchers depending on how the roster shakes up, but yeah, big competition in the outfield here. Meisner, Gorski, Call fighting for playing time with like Siri. Hassel has a chance to make the team. I doubt he will, but he could. And then Luis Garcia will get some time out there. Derek Hill's still on the roster. I don't know if he's out of options. He has 2 option years, so he might not make the team. James Wood's got a little bit of tick in his development. Terrell Tatum's still hanging around, so those guys are all going to kind of fight it out. CJ Abrams will get some time out there as well. And Reese Hoskins, I want to see if he makes the team. He'll probably make it regardless if he has a good spring, but I'm giving him plenty of plate appearances to, make sure I'm certain about giving him $1.5 million going into the year. And these are the guys we're going to start. Pretty much all of these guys are in competition to get a potentially rotation spot. I think Strasburg and Corbin are probably locked in at this point, so I'm not even going to bother with them. Corbin might just get cut. I'm not sure. I can't trade him at this point, so we'll see. But yeah, these guys are all going to fight it out. I don't think I'm going to have Skeens on opening day on the team, but he'll probably be up within a month, I'd say. So we're going to go through some spring training, come back opening day, and yeah, we'll check in there. All right, so finally here at opening day. This episode is taking me forever to record, but we are here. This is the final after injuries lineup. It is disgusting. It is horrible. Probably the worst opening day lineup I've ever tried it out there in out of the park baseball. But we had Alika Williams get hurt, our potential starting shortstop, the hamstring strain. He went out for about 2 months. And CJ Abrams also out with plantar fasciitis. No shocker there. He's been hurt quite a bit. Then we had a bunch of injuries pitching. Matt Cronin, I guess the biggest one. He wasn't really any good for me, but his ratings are okay. But yeah, he has a torn labrum. Strasburg out again. Just a minor injury. I put him on the IL, but yeah, we're here at opening day. I guess you can see who made the roster. It's not pretty. I will just warn you right now. We have 3 catchers. We have Hedges, Pineda, and Ruiz. Ruiz will be playing a little bit of first, a little bit of catcher against lefties and righties. Mixing him in a catcher, mostly starting at first. And then Reese Hoskins had a really nice spring. He makes the team. Hopefully he can be a nice piece for offense, or else we are completely screwed. Tony Kemp will be mixing in left field and our utility infielder. Jacob Liu makes it. He's our starting second baseman against righties. And Yasel Antuña actually made the team. Wasn't my first choice to make the team, but because he hasn't played above Double-A, but he's on my 40-man roster. And I figure he's well-developed enough when I give him a shot. He's 24 years old. He's mixing in at second and third, starting at second against lefties. And then Carter K-Boom starting at third base. He's one of like the staples in the lineup, I guess, which is really sad. Just really sad. I should do that. And then our starting shortstop is a Ty Goldner. 16th round pick just last season. And he hasn't played above high A. And I basically wanted someone who could play shortstop, who I don't really care about their development. He's only 20 years old, and he's pretty far developed. I don't think he's going to do anything with the bat, but at least he can hold down shortstop for a couple weeks. And who knows? Maybe he's a long-term piece for us. And Luis Garcia, he'll be playing some right field and some first base, depending on lefty or righty. And then Matt Gorski makes it, our Rule 5 pick. Had a really nice spring and has some defensive versatility. We wound up cutting Cameron Meisner? Yeah. We cut him. So Jose Siri is going to make the team as well. Defensive center fielder. He'll be in there against lefties and righties. And then Alex Call, who had a nice season last year, albeit unspectacular. He'll be in there in left field against lefties. Yeah, it's a whole platooning mess. Whatever, don't think too much about it. This is another wasted season, kind of. So, yeah, but we have some good news. Augustus Schwartz slots in at number 6 in the top prospect list. Paul Skeens slides down to number 15. I think that might just be because a lot of these international guys slotted in at the top. I guess we can go confirm that really quick. Yeah, Cannon Handy's still number 1, man. I just don't see it. Maybe I don't see it at all. He's 20, almost 24. and still 20 overall, man. Like, I don't see it. Whatever. That's insane. Yeah, so Luis Aquino, he was a scout in Discovery. He's number 2. Elva, he was an international guy. Dolander is the number 4 guy. But, you know, there's still some development to do for him. And he didn't even pitch in rookie ball. He pitched in, I think this is the, let's see, what league is this? Prospect League. Then David Castillo, another international guy. Yeah, so, and then Tink Hence, oh my God. How'd he get to the Dodgers, dude? Oh my God. James Outman, who's not even on the Major League team. See, this is the kind of crap. And this guy, wow. That gets you Tink Hence. Unfreaking, and you got Chris Stratton along. Unfreaking believable, dude. This game, oh my God, some of the trades are just game breaking. This happened at the deadline too. My God. Andrew Painter, number 8. Austin Vernon, 25-year-old. Pretty nice arm. He's number 9, and then Walter Jenkins slots in at number 10, but a lot of development for him to do. So yeah, it's mostly because of international guys and the scouting discoveries. He slipped to number 15. He did lose a couple ticks, not gonna lie. His stuff potential went down 5, movement potential went down 5, control potential went down 5, but still looks like a good top of the rotation arm. I wonder if I hope my scout still agrees. Yeah, we should be good. He's starting the year in AAA. He had a mostly good spring. He had one blow-up game, but this is mostly a service time game with him because we're not going to be competing. So him and Kay Cavalli might come around the same time, although he'll probably have a rehab. Yeah, then Namala is number 21. Again, just slipped down because of international guys. And then Jorge Vera slots in at number 79, moving up a couple spots into the top 100. James Wood falling down to 83. Robert Hassel goes down to 95, although I like his development. He's kind of on a nice track. And then a couple other guys in the top 200, but outside the top 100. And, okay, let's get an opening day here. Enough wasted time. This episode's going to be so freaking long. So, first game, I'm starting Patrick Corbin, mostly based off his contract. So, let's just get it over with. Nope, we have to add these guys to our 40. So, it's going to be Hoskins. It'll be Kemp. And also Jose Siri. Believe those are the only guys. And then Herman Marquez as well. I guess we could go over the pitching who made the roster. I completely forgot about this. It'll be Corbin, Gore, Christmas, Gray, and Marquez in the rotation to start. Again, Corbin can get cut instantly. I don't really know. Then Tanner Rainey, Cole Henry had a rough spring, but I want to try him out in the pen. And then Andrew Vasquez, and then Ian Gabout, Michael Rucker, who had a nice year for us last year, and Jacob Lopez, lefty, who I have pretty high hopes for. And then Thad Ward, who had a good season last year, and Noah DeNoyer, who had a rough spring, but I'm going to give him a shot as our Rule 5 pick. So, here we go, opening day. Oh my God. Austin Hedges, forgot about him. Is this Pineda guy on the 40? He is, okay. I think we're good. So let's do it. We win 6-5. Wow, there we go. Nice day for Alou. Goldner gets 2 hits. Look now, because you'll never see that again, I'm almost certain. And Patrick Corbin, what a start. Let's go. 5 innings, 1 run, and Michael Rucker blew it. But there we go. Patrick Corbin, a good start to begin the year. Maybe he can turn it around. Who knows? Game 2, Mackenzie Gore. We lose 2-1. Only 3 hits as a team. Antuni drove in our only run. Gore, really quality start, though. So, a lot of good in these first 2 games, even though we split them. And then we win the series against Atlanta. Holy crap. Tony Kemp, a couple RBIs. Looks like he had a home run. Alou had a home run, and Garcia did as well. So, really a successful series to start the year. Chris made a really nice start. The bullpen does a good job. So, there we go. We start the year 2-1, and some good news in Washington. And hopefully a brighter future lies ahead this season. So, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.